just a pigeon. It was very relevant to, the nose ring and the story about my sister is very relevant to what happens next and to uncover what actually happened in my life. So I got my nose pierced. No, wait, my sister got her nose pierced. When was it? I don't exactly remember, but she got it pierced before me. But I always knew I wanted to do it too, but I wasn't quite brave enough. So we got the same thing, same nose, like the gold with the diamond. But mine was kept until I was ready. And when I had it, I decided to have it done on around my 21st birthday, which was just before my sister's first marriage. So it was kind of me celebrating. It was in my life, the 21st is a significant milestone. So that was 9 years ago, and also in my sister's life, it's a significant moment. So it was supposed to represent both of those things. And that's when I got my nose pierced and had that put in. But I didn't realize they'd cursed it, because I think they did. Whether they did that properly consciously or not, I don't know. They definitely consciously did something to my chain, because the thing about the chain is that I was wearing a different chain before. And the chain isn't important to me, but the locket is, because the locket was given to me by my grandfather, my mother's father, when I was born, and it had a little elephant, a gold elephant. There's also another one that he gave me, which is a gold rabbit. So both of those things are very important to me. My mother has the rabbit because I told her she can keep it, and she gave me the elephant. Because she's attached to her father, so it's for us it's about, we both share those same memories, or as far as I know, we both share those same memories of fondness for our that person, my grandfather, who is my spirit guide. So yes, so I was saying that chain was I don't know if they did something to the locket, but the chain for sure was cursed, because my mother gave it to me a year ago, which is when things started to go really bad. And she was like, oh, I didn't think you'd accept it so easily because you hate change. But I said, I don't like the chain that I'm wearing now, because it's easily open, so I can easily lose my locket. So there was something weird about that. And then I got a message that I was wearing, there was a cursed object, there was an ancient cursed object that I was wearing, and I need to get rid of it in order to be able to detach from this karmic family and karmic community. And that's when I took it off, and I threw it in a bin. And then yesterday I took off the nose ring. I also took off my earrings. They're not gold, but my mother did buy them for me, and it is still metal, so I didn't know. Also took off my anklets. Again, they're silver again, but I mean they bought it for me, so I was like, you know what, let's just start over completely, just get rid of everything that they bought for me, unless it's something that I bought. If I bought it for myself, it's okay. So any gifts that they gave me, I kind of got rid of. I've pretty much got rid of everything now. I just have a few things that I bought for myself. That includes my laptop, by the way, because I think they did something to it. Someone has managed to lock it in such a way that I can't access. My password's been changed, and I kind of left it behind. I don't want it anymore anyway. It's an old life, and if the legal authorities want what's the information on there, I think the police have it now. They've been sending me messages saying, oh, they found my suitcase with your laptop and your student ID. Do you want to get it back? I was like, I don't trust the police at all. They when I needed them, they just kind of shrugged their shoulders and no, I don't trust them, and I think they're under control of this black magic. So let's come back to my realization about my sister. The reason how I got to that realization, thing is, at the bottom of my heart, I always knew, but then I was sort of not giving her the benefit of the doubt. But it was like, again, there was some kind of magic that was preventing me from actively thinking about her. It was like whenever my thoughts turned to her, they just skated over. But that could also be me, because what happened between us hurt me so much. It took me years to get over the pain of what she did to me, like how she treated me, because I was so attached to her. And that's probably not it's definitely not a healthy attachment that I had to her. But at the same time, she was basically my world, you know. She was the first, I think I kind of imprinted on her as soon as I was born, because, and also, you know, she was the person I listened to. When my mom was pregnant with me, my sister was in the chatty stage, so she was like chat all the time. So her voice was kind of imprinted, and even after I was born, I was just like totally enamored with her. But the thing is, she always saw me as competition, because she was an only child for 6 years, almost 6 years, before I came on the scene. And I think she really, really hated the competition. And when I was younger, she used to kind of she used to hold me and then kind of pinch me, so like to make me cry. And then like pretend like she doesn't know anything. I think I don't know if I mentioned it here or on one of the Facebook videos. I'm gonna say it again. So she was even jealous of her childhood videos, where basically if my parents watched videos of her when she was a young child, she'd be jealous. Yeah, so also in India, when you're born, there's this ceremony where basically it's like the naming ceremony among Hindus. There's a naming ceremony, and you also like tie like a, what's it called, Aranyanam? Oh, that reminds me, I need to take that off as well. Do I need to take that off? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's fine. I think also the anklets were fine, but I was overreacting. It's okay, I'll get new ones. So basically it's like a bracelet, but that goes around your waist. I don't know how you say that, the term for it. And you put that on. It's like you do that. It's a ceremony that you do when you're a child, when you're a baby. And at that ceremony, my sister was so jealous again that they had to have like a private ceremony with her to do that for her as well. Like anything that I had, she had to have as well, even better if possible. And the thing is, she never really grew out of it, because this is sibling rivalry. That's pretty normal. I mean, I had the similar issues when my parents adopted my brother, but I grew out of it, you know. My love for him was stronger than this sibling rivalry rubbish. But my sister never grew out of it. She never grew up, and she always wanted to put me down. She would act like the most caring sister in the world, because she knew that was a way to get other people's sympathy and to get their love. yeah, so I was speaking to someone from my school, a librarian from my old school before, and she was saying, you know, she was having a hard time to understand that my sister was so nasty to me, because I was telling her, you know, like, you know, she was saying, you know, from the outside it looked like she was such a, you know, positive person. You know, she acted like she wanted, she was your best big sister, you know, look after you, because there was 1 year where we overlapped when we were both at the same school together. And I told her, you know, that was all an act. That's not how she is really at home. And also, I felt pretty lonely that year, like more than usual, because it was like I had someone who was I loved a lot, but she didn't. She made me feel as lonely as if I were alone. And that's actually more lonely, I think, if you're surrounded by people who should love you, who are supposed to kind of love you back, and then you it just becomes, you feel more lonely when you're around people like that. That's how I felt all my life. Like with my family, I've always felt lonely even when I'm surrounded by them, because they can never give me what I needed, the kind of unselfish love that I gave them. And and at the same time, I was expected to do everything for them. You know, if I didn't do what they wanted, then they would withdraw their affection, you know, with silent treatment, with manipulation, with putting me down, everything. Like, although putting me down was kind of a low level thing all the time. So yeah, I think she was the other child at this ritual that I spoke about in the Facebook post. So in case you missed that, when I was a child, when I was like, actually I don't know exactly when, but basically as a child I showed these supernatural powers, and when I was 2, they actually took me to some kind of practitioner and kind of bound my powers so I wouldn't have them anymore. And I think after that I also lost my voice, because I think my powers are very much related to my voice. They didn't want me to talk, they didn't want me to sing, they didn't want me to put my voice out there, because there's something powerful about my voice. I can help a lot of people. And that's why I'm also having trouble with my voice right now, because I'm recovering from a cold. But they can't do anything anymore. I mean, this is just temporary. They have no power anymore. That power is gone. But basically I was an elective mute for a while. Like there'll be records if the police are interested. If you go to Wolverhampton, my school in Wolverhampton, when I was in kindergarten, a teacher actually called my father in and said, your daughter seems to need some kind of psychological help, because she doesn't talk to anyone except you or other family members. She doesn't talk unless she absolutely has to. She's an elective mute, and that's not normal. So there's something really weird going on there, if you're interested to find out. There must be some kind of record there. I'm also getting the name Jackson, Miss Jackson. I don't know if that was my teacher. This name has been coming to my head a lot, this Miss Jackson, but I don't know if this is the person. I don't know, I can't remember consciously, but this name has been in my mind for a long time. And speaking of teachers, my parents or whoever, yeah, it must be my parents, they paid several of my teachers to bully me and to demoralize me. There was my art teacher who kind of made me feel like I'm not good at art, and I actually just gave up completely on art after that. There was I think there was also the maths teacher who was very, very, very supportive of me. But then in that last year when I had depression, she's actually that last year when I decided, when I was 17 and I was doing my last year of high school, pretty much all the teachers seemed to turn against me. That includes my maths teacher, my physics teacher, English teacher, art teacher, a drama teacher, maybe my chemistry teacher, maybe biology. I know for sure that my English teacher, but he, okay, so he was, kind of, wait, okay, so he started teaching me English when I was in year 8, no, year 8 or year 9, I think year 8, and he was my favorite teacher. We seemed to really get on well, and I actually developed a crush on him, but he was basically my favorite, and he seemed to really support me and encourage me. He got me started on writing. He said my way of writing, even the essays, he said they were really high standard, way above the level of a high school student, more like a college really amazing level of writing. He even read out one of my essays to the class. Very embarrassing. But yeah, so he just really gave me this confidence boost and made me believe in myself, in my writing skills. But then I think he was also paid off to do some really weird things, and also jealousy may have played a role, because I got a message that, first of all, that he felt the same way, he was very attracted to me. He never did anything, by the way, just to put that out there. But that he really valued my role in his life. That I was a positive influence in his life too. That he still remembers me fondly, and he wanted to ask forgiveness for something he'd done to me, but he was worried whether I would forgive him. And I already said that if you're willing to tell me what it is and take accountability, I am willing to forgive. I put that message after this message, but he never came forward. But I worry that, okay, let me talk about so he basically, what I saw was some documents being altered. I don't know what that means. I think he altered some documents. I think he sabotaged me in some way so I don't grow. I know he also purposefully kept purposefully hid an essay writing competition, the information about an essay writing competition from me, so that I wouldn't enter it, and this other girl who was my best friend, but that turned sour as well, so that he was encouraging her to enter and to keep it from me, so that she would have a chance at winning, because he said that if I entered I would win for sure. So there's that. There may also be, this is purely my intuition, but it could be something to do with our application to Oxford, because I applied to Oxford and so did my best friend. I didn't get in, she did. I have no idea if that's related, but he basically became very cold towards me, very detached, very almost started bullying me. There's also another English teacher who for sure bullied me. She tried to make me feel bad for myself, and I think at the root of it, it was all about jealousy, because they felt, especially after I wrote my book, because that was also just after that I wrote and published my book, and they couldn't stand that. It was like their jealousy just went through the roof, because they were like, oh, I'm an English teacher, but this girl who I taught, who is not even British, is doing better at writing than I am. That kind of thing. I think racism was probably also a motivation. I mean, in my head, if I was that, they were my teacher, I would have thought, surely they should be, it's a reflection on them, right? Because they taught me, so it should be a reflection on them. But that's not how they saw it. They just, one of the other teachers I was telling you about, she actually stopped working for a while and started writing a book. I don't know what happened there, but then she went back to working. So, but she's another one who bullied me. And it's funny because she also was one of my favorite teachers in the beginning. She encouraged me in the beginning. So there's some kind of massive thing between the teachers and jealousy and my parents doing something to be involved. Also my head teacher, I'm pretty sure she was involved. I don't know. Let's see. I think that's enough for now. So today it's, I forgot to say, 26 July.